Yo dudes, what's up? Another 1911 video. A lot of 1911 videos because we're coming up on the 100th anniversary and it's my favorite handgun. So I like doing videos on them. I know you guys are probably getting sick of them, but for the 1911 fans, they'll like it. Couple things I want to talk about. Anyone see that movie Splice? Man, that fucking movie. What a fucked up movie that was. I'm sitting at home, like there's nothing on TV, and I'm like, I'm gonna look on demand, see if there's anything fucking new. And I look and I see this friggin' movie Splice. I'm like, alright, who's in it? And I'm looking, I'm like, oh Jesus. You know, the ugliest star on the earth, Adrian Brody. He looks like Mr. Bigglesworth from Austin Powers. That's how ugly that dude is. Sorry. Is he a good actor? I don't like him, man. He don't do nothing for me. He's disturbing. The movie was stupid as can be. The chick was alright. She's kind of cute. That always helps. It looked like they were growing like something in an incubator. It looked like they were growing a pussy or something. Then the thing came alive, and it looked like a friggin' vagina. And then it turned into a kind of a girl, what kind of like a hottie face. Okay? And Adrian Brody fucks it. Okay? Then it dies. Then it comes back and turns into a guy. Yeah. That was my movie of the week. If you see Splice, do yourself a favor. Don't waste your money. Wow. His career is really going to hit the shitter after that one. Yo, man. I got this book. And you guys have them books by Patrick Sweeney. He's a professional. He does professional torture tests on all guns. He does them on Glocks, XDs, AKs, 1911s, AR-15s. Any gun you can imagine, the guy does torture tests. That's what he does for a living. And this is, I have one on, I want to thank my man, Teron Reef. He sent these to me, man. What a fucking nice guy, you know what I mean? These ain't cheap either. Look how big these are. Here's one on the AKs. You want to know everything about AKs? You get one of these, and I think, yeah, this is Patrick Sweeney. Probably has the torture test in it. And I also have one on, of course, the 1911. And he sent me this one too. And there's a big article inside about the 1911 torture test. Torture test. And you need to get these, especially if you're looking for a 1911. You're a little nervous because you keep listening to Glock people, how they keep saying they jam. They're the only ones that say it. I don't know why. Because they're probably tired of hearing about the 1911 and they want their gun to shine. Well, sorry, it'll always be in the shadow. Always. Get over it. In my eyes, anyway. You know? They are not the best gun. It even explains it in here. I don't know if I can find the page. But this man is also impressed by Glock, but he also says it is not the best gun. It's one of the best. It's probably one of the top 5 handguns, and that's how I look at it. There's no such thing as the best gun. Even the 1911 is not the best gun. There's like a top 5 or a top 6. Because they're all about equal across the board when it comes to reliability. Talking about reliability, you know what I mean? There's no such thing as the best gun. To say that, it's a bold statement and it makes you look like you're real immature, okay? So one of the best guns in 1911, which proves in this book, is the 1911 goes through the same torture test as the Glock and passes with flying colors, okay? What this guy does, he uses the Louisiana swamp, and he drops 1911s in the swamp, stirs them up, brings them out of there, leaves them in there, buries them in all different kinds of soil. There's 5 different types of soil, and he did it in Michigan, he did it in Louisiana. He even made up his own, the harshest combinations you can think of, like baking soda and sugar and dirt. You know what happens to sugar when it gets hot? It gets like gum. And the 1911s still passed with flying colors. They did not jam. They went through all the magazines he had without one failure. Okay? So if this don't convince you that 1911s are reliable, then I give up. But what the man does that saying here, which was I was saying too, which just happens to be a coincidence. If you have a 1911 that's built the right way, that is very important. It is one of the most reliable handguns in the world. If you get a 1911 that's built the right way. There are some 1911s that ain't built right, and they jam. Okay? Now I'm going to tell you the ones that were in this book, and you ain't going to believe it. It surprised me. You ready for this? The guy used 4 1911s, okay? And he didn't use a Colt. I couldn't believe it. Before I get started, I want to thank Chuck for this beautiful limited edition of Guns and Ammo for sending this to my house for me. Thanks, Chuck. I've been enjoying it. I've been reading it. I've been drooling over it. And it's commemorative 1911s for the 100 years and all. And I really like this book. I'll keep it forever. This one will not go anywhere. It's really got some real pretty 1911s in it. So I figured I'd display it. Now what he did was, I'll tell you the 4 1911s he used. He used a Wilson Combat. Okay. He used a, believe it or not, a Charles Daly. Hey Fabio, you got yourself a good 1911. I was very surprised because Charles Daly's is considered not a cheap 1911, but a little bit lower end. Charles Daly, Wilson Combat, and a Kimber, just like this one, but he used a Warrior. It's no difference. The Warrior has the only difference has a accessory rail on it. And ready for this? A Rock Island Armory. Rock Island Armory. They're the 4 1911s that were put through the torture test and passed with flying colors. I mean, even the Rock Island Armory didn't jam after being thrown in the bucket of sand, soil, and mud. He did everything he could do it. What he do was, when you do the torture test, is what he said you do. What he does is, of course, you make sure the gun's safe at all times, which it is. You get a full magazine, which this is not, and an empty chamber. Okay? Okay, full magazine with an empty chamber. Put the magazine in the pistol. Mix your concoction up of your torture test system. Throw the gun in a bucket of mud. Stir it up. Let it sit there for like 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Pick it back up. That's all he did, is pick it back up. Shake off the mud a little bit. Rack the slide. Point the gun and just start pulling the trigger like a madman. And that's what he did. And those 4 1911s that I've mentioned to you have passed with flying colors. Exact words from his mouth, flying colors. He said they had no failures at all. So what else could he do to prove to you that 1911s are reliable? The ones that do jam are just faulty manufactured 1911s. That's really simple, as simple as it is. So you got to think about it. An XD, where is my XD? Right here. An XD like this, or a Glock like this kind of gun, it's very simple to manufacture, and it doesn't have a lot of parts in it. And if you make 100 of these and 100 1911s, okay, maybe one of these will jam because it's not made right, and probably 3 1911s might jam. I'm just giving you a scenario. Why? Because the 1911s have a lot more parts in them. I don't think they have a lot of parts in them. You see me take it down all the way to the frame. I don't think a 1911 has a ton of parts in it, but it has way more parts than the XD or the Glock. So, out of the factory, coming out of the box, chances are this type of pistol will be more reliable than that type of pistol. That type. But if you do get a good 1911 It's just as reliable as... Sorry guys, I don't know if I ran out of batteries or what the fuck happened. It just stopped. It cut off. It didn't run out of batteries. I don't get why that happened. What I was saying, if you get a 1911 from a factory that's made right, it will be just as reliable as this XD, and it will be just as reliable as an HK or a Glock. That's what I'm saying. So when you get a new 1911, you just got to run it through a good test. You got to put a good 200 to 300 rounds through it. Okay. I think after 300 rounds, where's my 1911s? I put them away because I didn't fucking know my camera screwed up. So I have this out. I think after 300 rounds with no failures, you can pretty much bank on the gun's okay. If it's going to fuck up, it's going to show you within 300 rounds. If it shows you in 500 rounds, the magazine acted up or something, or you got bad ammo. Alright? So that's the end of this video, and I have no idea why it cut off. And that's it. I'll talk to you guys soon.